Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Thursday the 12th, and today was a beautiful, lovely day. Had some rain in the morning, lots of rain actually. It cleared off, looked at the radar, and it looked like it was going to actually clear up enough we could go maybe ride the side-by-sides, ATVs, we don't want to call it. And I called the guy, he said, yep, he's got some left, he'd rep me one. And we basically headed over. I had a bowl of cereal when I first got up. A couple hours later, Karen decided she wanted to, I don't know, she had a little bit of breakfast maybe, but decided she wanted to have a early lunch, kind of a big lunch, before we got there to ride ATVs, and then we'd have the day there. Instead of trying to take a meal with us on the trail. So we headed over, keep going straight, that's where we just came from. That's where we just came, that's our figure eight. So but went ahead and we headed over. We ended up finding a little place called Flips. It's a little hole in the wall, like a little square building, drive up only. And it's the fries, the waffle fries were delicious. A little spicy at times, not spicy, over seasoned, over salted. On a couple of them, Karen wanted me to eat her regular fries, but damn, they were so good. They were delicious. We both had a little burger, and the burger was all right. It just kind of tasted like just a store-bought bun, and just nothing real fancy and craft, single cheese slice on top that didn't get fully melted in, so definitely was not the best sandwich. But the fries were straight up on point. So we got done there, we headed up, took that to the park, where we basically waited for the guy to show up with the side-by-side I rented. He showed there, we ate our meal, hung around a little bit, headed up into what's called Doe Mountain recreational area. And I think he said there's 68 miles or some crap of trails back in there, and thousands of acres of land, and all the fun that comes with it. Now we can turn right and go back to the campground. That's our figure eight trail. But went ahead and basically chilled out there, hopped in the machine, headed around. And it was a little chilly. So actually at one point we ended up putting on our gloves because it was chilly enough. Both had jackets on and whatnot, and headed out and we kind of followed the trail. They said like take 1 to 23 or something, take 1 to 25 and back up to this and that, do this and that, and blah blah. We just kind of following trails, and trails are not the best marked. And we end up down, we ended up missing one. I had to go back, found it, went up there and looked at the fire lookout tower and stuff. Had a good time there. And the trails here are just insanely rocky. Like there's giant boulders. Like we're talking, I don't know, like not quite basketball, but like bowling ball size rocks out there you're smashed into and stuff. And how we don't blowing tires out and tearing up rims, I don't know, because we're cruising along, 11 to 15 mile an hour on average pace, and just driving around. Ended up going down one, and we didn't realize we were supposed to turn. We missed the road, like trail is 23, we were supposed to turn next. Ended up the very far end of one, and it's like this. It's literally it's a waterfall creek that's technically a trail too, and they had tons of ramp. They said that 12 inches of ramp there, like last night, whatever. So a lot of the trails were washed out worse than they were supposed to be, but all the creeks were bridge high coming there and stuff. Is ridiculous. And we were the only people in the mountain, probably because the rain was so bad. But there was no one else around, which made me a little bit sketched out. Because if something happened, we rolled over or hurt ourselves, nobody else was coming to look for us for hours. So it was gonna suck there, but it is what it is. We made it out safe and live, as you can tell, I'm making the video. But we head down this waterfall looking trail, and it's just rocky as shit. I remember telling Karen, like, thank God we don't have to come back up this thing, because the trail said when you get 1223, whatever it was, turn. And we get to the end, it says end of the park. And we're like, whoops, we look at the map, and we missed 23 because it was right by the fire tower lookout, and we didn't see it. So it's like, great. So we basically had to head back up that hill, and it was so rocky and so covered in water, just like the automatic transmission didn't want to shift, so I was like in too high of RPM. Ended up overheating the quad. We had to stop up the mountain part way up the hill, let it cool off for a little while. Headed on up, got to near the top, and it overheated again, so we had to pull over and let it cool down. And then we got to the actual top of it, and we chilled out a little bit there, and I let Karen drive for a while, and she was ripping through, having a hell of a good time, and just hell, she was doing like, at one point I looked down, she was doing 18 mile an hour, which is, speed limit in the park's like 16, so she's speeding in the park even, and she's hauling ass on a trail we've already been on, so she feels safer on it, because we came the other way, so she felt more confident, had a great time, laughing and joking, and just having fun. Ended up coming to another spot, I had turned down a new trail, and she said, nope, I'm out, I'm not taking new trails, that's on you. So I drove the rest of the day, drove around all over the place, came to one spot that was like this really steep hill that there's no way I would have wanted her to drive up it like by herself at all, and I didn't really want to drive up myself, but I didn't want to go back out and miss the other parts of the trail and find a way back out of the park. So threw it forward drive, headed up the hill, made it without really any problem, but man, it was sketchy. It was just super feeling sketchy, and how this dude doesn't get people hurt, and how's he gonna get his equipment tore up by renting these things out to people who don't care about nothing, and some frat bros or some crap out here is tearing up shit. I don't see how it happens, but it is what it is. We finally got back out of the park. We were out there a little over 3 hours, just running around, hit a couple mud puddles here and there. At one point I was coming back after I kind of knew where I was at, and I was really hauling ass on the hill. At one point I'm doing like 30 down the hill, 29, 31 area, and we come around. There's a big dip in the road that was bigger than I thought it was, and I didn't get on the brakes to know. So I slowed down probably 22, 25, and hit this thing, and the thing bounced up off the ground. We looked airborne, which this is more of a farm equipment, not designed to be jumped and shit. And we went whipping through and had a great time. Absolutely had a blast. Headed back home, dropped off the quad in the parking lot like we're supposed to. Headed back home, and got back to the house. Went and got my run on, got my shower. Karen jumped in the shower real quick. We headed out to Speckled Trout, which is kind of a fancy little fish place here. It's weird because it's like they're trying to be high end, they're trying to be fancy, but yet you're sitting on a wooden bench. Like it didn't quite match up to what, I don't know, it felt kind of weird. Like they weren't sure what their identity was. If they were fancy fine dining, or if they were, you know, kind of just normal pub type place. So fancy wines, fancy beers, all that comes with it. But we headed out there, headed over to find some dessert. We're heading over to a donut shop. The donuts, we both got a regular yeast donut and a cake donut each. And I took a couple bites of them and I threw them away. They were uneatable. She didn't eat hers either. They were just absolutely disgusting. They were so gross. So, and I love donuts. For me to throw a donut, you know it's got to be a piece of crap donut. Like, it was absolutely horrible. And I was like, it's like $7 down the drain. But 6 something I think we paid for the donuts, but oh well, no big deal. So I told her I wouldn't have ate the rest of those donuts for $20, so it paid me. They were that bad. So headed back home, chilled on the patio on the little deck, dock, whatever you want to call it, kind of thing. Had myself a cigar, headed inside, watched it rain throughout the evening, which ironically, luckily the rain didn't mess with us too much, with the fact that it was, while we're out, we didn't have any rain to deal with, which worked out really, really nice. So that's all we got right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe and wonderful day. Thanks for watching.